the slogan "Defund the Police" and said that it probably hurt Democrats in the election. Joining us to talk about it, Brad Polumbo is opinion editor at the Foundation for Economic Education, a great organization. They're for econ geeks like me. You know them as FEE, F-E-E. The website is fee.org. I bought lots of books from them and had all kinds of FEE folks on the show. So I'm very glad to have Brad on the show. Brad, thanks for being here.
Hey, good morning.
So what do we make of this? What do you make of this?
I think it's pretty diagnostic of just how far left the Democrat Party has moved in the last 10 years. When Obama came onto the scene, he was viewed as progressive, and rightly so. He wanted the government to take over a large role in health care. He wanted to raise taxes, increase government spending. Now, in the party of AOC and Ilhan Omar, Barack Obama looks like your good old-fashioned moderate.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how relative these things are, because obviously, he's solidly to the left. He was never a full all-out Marxist, but these people are. And the funny thing is that that's not a dirty word to them. They would call themselves that.
Yeah.
And I think he has touched on just some obvious common sense. When he says defund the police is a horrible slogan. Of course it is. Even African-American people say in polling they want more policing in their communities, not less. We can have a serious conversation about criminal justice reform, but defund the police is a stupid slogan, and he's totally right here, though I never thought I'd be saying that.
Yeah, how about it? Let me give a little quote from Obama. He said, "If you believe, as I do, that we should be able to reform the criminal justice system so that it's not biased and treats everybody fairly, I guess you can use a snappy slogan like defund the police. But, you lost a big audience the minute you say it, which makes it a lot less likely that you're actually going to get the changes that you want done." And that's as accurate a statement as you're ever going to get from Barack Obama.
Right. It's pretty rare that I read a statement from him and nod along to every single word, but it's true. There are a lot of ideas when we talk about criminal justice reform, like decriminalizing marijuana, or looking at reworking qualified immunity laws or civil asset forfeiture, where you could have bipartisan support or serious conversations about policy changes. But when you start throwing out these crazy leftist slogans, you're basically saying, I don't really want change. I just want cameras and attention for myself to validate myself with my far left base. And good on Obama, I guess, that even he can see that that's sloganeering. That's not policy advocacy, and that's not progress at all.
I'm curious what you saw. I saw a thing or two in the few minutes that I spent looking at this, but I'm curious what you saw about how the true left, the squad, and just far left folks who aren't politicians, how they reacted to Barack Obama, in part because there's a certain schadenfreude in watching the left eat their own. I'm wondering what you saw.
It's kind of delicious, actually, watching them fight. In a sense, it's bad, but in a sense, it's just too fun to eat that you can't not enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, you had people in the squad like AOC and Ilhan Omar taking thinly veiled shots at Obama over this in tweets, replying to him, basically doubling down. And then you had even some left-wing media outlets like Salon saying, why should we take advice from a dude whose brilliant slogan was hope and change? So it's interesting because it really does show you this. The coalition, I think, really was always about we all hate Trump, right? That's the only thing Democrats really all agree on.
Right.
But so that's been kind of masking over this huge divide between, you put it well, the old kind of leftists are now the moderates, and then the true leftists are now the left flank. And they're actually a huge division there and tons of stuff they disagree on and a lot of bad blood between those two groups. But Trump they just united in trying to defeat Trump. Now, we're going to see how are they going to reconcile that going forward. It's going to be fun, and I think we're going to get more of this kind of infighting. So I guess just grab your popcorn.
Yeah, I agree. And for those of you just joining, my special guest, Brad Polumbo, opinion editor at the Foundation for Economic Education, fee.org. He's also a columnist for the Washington Examiner and a senior contributor to Young Voices.